Buffalo Bills got a great victory over the NFC South division leading team as of right now against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now they're going to travel to Houston to take on the Texans on Thursday Night Football after a last-second field goal to beat their division rival, the Tennessee Titans. My name's Tyler here with my brother Ryan. We're going to break down this Week 12 matchup and provide our predictions at the end, so be sure to stay tuned. Leave a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win and why. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and get notified when new videos come out. Trying to get to 100 new subscribers this week. Let's see if we can do it in this video alone. And Ryan, great game in Buffalo, 44-32. A defensive performance is not something I would describe this game as, but
No.
this defense performance in the Texans Tennessee game, as that's really the only good thing that Tennessee can do. And they were able to stick it to Houston, shutting them out in the first half. But still, Texans were able to grind it out. The Bills were able to grind it out, even though they gave up over 200 yards of rushing offense against or for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I said that poorly, but in general, though, hey, honestly, really at this point, a win's a win. At this point in the season,
Yeah.
it's just win. Things don't have to look pretty now. All teams are banged up. You're over halfway through. We're wrapping up the middle third of the season as we're entering into the final couple of games. There's only, I think, a couple teams that have bye weeks left, even too. So the Bills winning this game here, going to 7-3, huge overall for them as the Kansas City Chiefs lost as well. And actually, too, this is also big wild card implications as the Texans are now the first team on the outside looking in. When it comes to the current playoff standings as of right now. So big playoff implications overall, and the Bills are going to want the tiebreaker just in case anything really starts to get hairy for them. While the Texans, they're without CJ Stroud. It is looking like it's still going to be unclear if he's going to be available for this game here, especially on a shortened week. But to be fair, though, Davis Mills, though, still 26-41, one touchdown, 274 yards against a good, I'll say a good Tennessee defensive front. Everything else, I think, within Tennessee's maybe very lackluster. But still, though, I'd say just the same thing as Buffalo. A win's a win. Doesn't matter. Just get your win and just figure it out the rest of the way of the season. Ryan, for Thursday Night Football, what are your overall thoughts on the Bills and the Texans? You being a Patriots fan, big emphasis on the AFC implications just in general. So, what are your overall thoughts on this game and both these teams?
Yeah, this is a big one. I mean, looking at the Bills, I think defensively you have some concerns. I think, especially now that Ed Oliver is going to miss a significant length of time if he's not out for the season. I know Daquan Jones is also hurt as well. So that defensive interior just has really taken a hit this year, and I think that that's really showed. And then you couple that with the already struggling secondary that was picked apart last year at the end of the season. Maxwell Harrison has come in and it's looked a little bit better, but he's also still just a rookie. And so
Yeah.
his impact that he can make is just going to be minimal. So I think for the
Well, I don't know about
Bills,
minimal, but there's still he's still only made a couple starts, so there's
yeah.
still
He's
some of the
not
unknowns. Yeah.
he's not a developed veteran who is going to come in and, look solid 100% of the time and not make any mental errors. Uh So I think for the Bills, they're really going to have to just outscore a lot of these teams. I think what we saw today to Tampa would look just like a race to the finish for both of these offenses.
Mhm.
And I think it was impressive. Josh Allen had a really good performance with 6 total touchdowns. He did it without Keon Coleman as well, who was inactive because he missed a team meeting on Friday. So I think that was really a good performance there by the Buffalo Bills. In the Texans, look, a road division win is always tough. And especially against a team that you've already played, you have your backup quarterback in there. I don't think that they were expecting to go in there and win 35-7. So I think any hard fought road division victory is a good thing. And this defense is just, they're like the complete opposite of Buffalo right now. This defense they're the number one defense in total yards allowed. They're second in both rushing yards and passing yards allowed. It's crazy what this defense has been able to do. And I think it's going to be a really tough test for this Bills team because I don't think the Bills are going to be able to come in here and really run the ball. I think it's Josh Allen is going to have to play a lot of Superman, and we all know he's capable of doing that. But for the Bills to come in here and put up a lot of points, I think Josh Allen's going to have another tremendous performance.
Yeah, it's just looking at this right now. The Texans first overall in yards allowed second overall in passing yards allowed, and second overall in rushing yards allowed. They have 25 sacks on the season. And then when it comes to takeaways, they're fifth overall in takeaways. They have 16 takeaways so far on the season. So
Yeah.
averaging just a little less than 2 a game. So it is going to take an above average to borderline Herculean effort if the whole Bills plan is like, hey, rely on Josh Allen
Yeah.
to go and win this game here. And so I think that's one of the interesting things too coming into this is everything that kind of happened within the Bills receiving room going into this game, with Keon Coleman being a coach's decision to be benched. I believe if I read the reports correctly, he missed a meeting, and so it was kind of
Yeah.
a like, no, this is your penalties. You have to go and miss a game. And that being said, though, too, didn't really help out Keon Coleman that then Josh Allen threw for 317 yards and 3 touchdowns as well. You know, Terrell Shavers, 4 catches, 90 yards. James Cook. Now that's obviously he's a running back, but Ty Johnson same as well too. With Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, Curtis Samuel. I do know they are going to be missing Dalton Kincaid, who is he on
I think.
IR or is he just hurt? I thought they put him
Um.
on IR. Oh, he's not on IR according to our lads. So correct me if I'm wrong here, but he might miss some time. Don't know if he's going to be ready for this game
Yeah.
as well too. They're going to want him back, but I think that's one thing that for Josh Allen can only be Superman for so long. And you go and get a guy like Keon Coleman for a game like this to go and develop and be like, hey, we need you to go up against Derek Stingley Jr. And you're not going to win every matchup, but you can't go and be shut out like
Yeah.
how you were against the Atlanta Falcons with AJ Terrell and everything, or in a lot of other games as well too.
Yeah.
Um, where you're just like, no, you're non-existent on one side of the field because the number one corner is going up against you know. And so this is where I think that's the thing I've noticed from the Bills, let alone the fact like the defensive inefficiencies as well too. And but Keon Coleman needs to step up because I think the Bills can only kind of play this type of brand of football where it's like a receiver by committee for so long, because it's like Khalil Shakur is their clear number one, but even
Yeah.
two, like he's not a game wrecker. He's definitely a guy you can lean on that's going to get a lot of targets. Now I say that though, he only had 3 targets today for 1 catch. Like the Bucks really shut him down. It was everybody else, but I don't think I don't think the Bills really want to play this style of football. They want to have it to where it's James Cook is the one who is getting a lot of the yards, and now he had 16 carries for 48 yards, only averaging um, 3 yards per carry. But the way that they play, the way that they're set up, I think they want to have these numbers inverted almost, where like, it's a run
Yeah.
heavy team with that opens up that play action, because then you don't need that superstar guy. Because when you're going up against a Texans team like this, like they could easily just shut down the run just because they're that good. They can
Yeah.
easily shut down the pass just because they're that good. Not like a certain style of play. And that's where I think Buffalo is going to need to figure it out, and Keon Coleman's going to need to figure it out as well. On the flip side, though, is I do think that the Bills gave up a lot of rushing yards less, yes, but luckily though it's like the Texans offense, they have been improving overall, but I still think that there are some areas where the Bills can disrupt them as well too. Like
Yeah.
this offensive line still is a little shaky. I think they can maybe get after Davis Mills a little bit. Still a young receiving core as well too that's really come up outside of Nico Collins, but I still believe that there are opportunities and avenues for both these teams to win. This is going to be a really fun Thursday night football game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and to kind of get into predictions here at this point, so if I'm going to take Houston for a couple reasons. One, as a Patriots fan, I want them to win. I want Houston to win this. So that would almost lock up the division for New England there.
Yeah,
But I also think I go back to Bills games like the Falcons, where the Bills obviously didn't have their full slate of weapons, but they really struggled to consistently move the ball in that game. And your Falcons did a good job of getting pressure on Josh Allen and just not letting him pick apart this defense at all. They forced some turnovers, forced some errant throws, and for me, I look at this Texans defense and they can do that, but with only sending 4 guys. You have Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson. Like, it is a fantastic pass rush duo that they have. And I think that they're really going to struggle to consistently move the ball and put up enough points to beat this team if CJ Stroud plays quarterback. If Davis Mills plays quarterback, I think it'll be a 17-14 game in favor of the Bills. If CJ Stroud plays, I think it could be a 24-17 game in favor of the Texans.
That's unique. You say that though too, because like Davis Mills these past couple of games
Yeah,
has thrown for over 250 yards. Like he's made this connection. The offense has been improving. I'm not saying by any means Davis Mills is equally as good as CJ Stroud.
yeah.
However, I don't think it's as big of a difference now. Like just with the way this offense has been most of the year. So
I
it's
would
funny.
agree if it were a full week. On a short week, I think it exacerbates that backup quarterback issue.
Fair, and that's why actually like I'm going to go with Buffalo on this one. I think on a shortened week is I do think that just Josh Allen's just a superstar. I think there is going to be something that where as good as this Texans defense is, it's just less time for them to heal up and game plan going up against this Josh Allen led offense. I do think the Bills are going to be able to run the ball better because it is a shortened game. I think they're gonna be able to scheme up some play actions and I not trick plays because that's a specific type of play, but I think things that the Texans are not going to be able to prepare for on a shortened week, and that's where I think it actually favors the offensive side of the ball. I could be wrong. Absolutely, let me know and leave a comment. Well, then on the flip side, then too as well, because it's Buffalo Bills defense. I mean, it's definitely the weaker side. Like
Yeah.
of the four quadrants of this game, the Bills defense is definitely the weakest one of all of them
Mhm.
because the Texans offense has been improving. But that being said, though, too, is I think even the their just normal base set defense is I think going to be able to just last just long enough to slow down this Texans offense. While the Bills, I think are going to be able to score. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think
Yeah.
it is going to be like a 20-17, 17-14, like you said. And I think whether it's Stroud or whether it's Davis Mills, I think the Bills are going to win this one. But props to Davis Mills though too. I mean too when the team needs it most, especially with the season on the line. I
Yeah.
mean he's won their past couple of games for them with CJ Stroud going down. And actually, too, uh, Stroud got hurt, I think, during the Broncos game, too, right? And yeah, and he
Mm.
nearly beat the Broncos as well.
Yeah.
Because Stroud went down early in that game. So props to Davis Mills, who I think they drafted him in the third round, 2021? Yeah,
Yeah,
2021,
he was
third
in that
round pick.
class.
Yeah. So he's going to get a contract renewal here if he hasn't already. But because props to him though for keeping the Texans in it. That's all you want from a backup quarterback is to throw for 270 plus yards in a
Oh,
couple of
yeah.
games to play.
For sure. So let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. You are taking the Bills. I'm taking the Texans. Let's go ahead. Let's if you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead on this AFC Thursday Night Football matchup. Will it be the Buffalo Bills? Will it be the Houston Texans? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.